it is again. It's Purim, that exciting time of year. And we have Megillas Esther to hear the Purim story all over again. And after we finish, before we go home, there's just one last thing we have to do. We need to sing a song. There's a custom, right after finishing Megillas Esther, to sing the song Shoshanas Yaakov. Look at the words. And if you'll notice the words in the song, we say that Haman and his wife Zeresh are cursed and Mordechai and Esther are blessed. Great. We've just spent the last hour telling over the story. We know what happens. We know who came out victorious. Why are we reiterating this most obvious point? The Vilna Gaon explains the word Baruch, that we commonly translate as blessed, as referring to someone who endured terrible and bitter suffering, but came out with a happy ending. And Or, which we generally translate as cursed, it's referring to someone that may have had a lengthy period of time of success and happiness, but ultimately meets his bitter end. The Lekach Toiv explains in the Megillah that Mordechai Tzaddik experienced tremendous anguish. He was exiled from Eretz Yisrael. Esther, his wife, was taken from him and given to Achashverosh. He was constantly being challenged by Haman, but in the end, experienced the most amazing success. Haman, on the other hand, experienced unparalleled bounty. He had everything one could wish for. He had money, he had respect, and he had power. And he had the ability to pass a decree to annihilate an entire nation. His end? One of disgrace and humiliation. In just a matter of hours, everything was reversed. This is the message of the Megillas Esther and of course of Purim. This is not a one-time historic event that happened. This is an eternal message for every single one of us in our lives. And because of that, we reiterate it again just after the Megillah. There's a well-known tzaddik here in Yerushalayim, Rabbi Rabinovich Shlita, who receives countless visitors every single day. People come with all of their issues, their problems, and their challenges. And he said over to a friend of mine recently that he took a trip up north to visit some kvorims in order to daven. And on the way up, he notices a freshly built building, a tall building. And on the top of the building there's a sign. And the sign reads, Milamala hakol nira acheres. From up high, everything looks different. Great marketing tool. He pulled over, he took a picture of that sign, and when he came back to Yerushalayim, he had it blown up, and he taped it inside one of the doors of one of the closets in his office. He said people come to him all the time, sharing their sorrows, their pain and anguish, almost questioning how Hashem treats them in this world. He often goes over to the cabinet, opens up the door, and shows them the sign. Milamala hakol nira acheres. From up high, capital H, there's a different perspective. Things look very different. What a chizuk that is. That's what the Megillah is meant to represent. That's the message it's giving every single one of us. Klal Yisrael are experiencing really difficult times in Eretz Yisrael and around the world. And people on an individual level have it even harder. The message of the Megillah is this. Remember, bracha means someone that experiences difficulties and challenges, but eventually comes out successful. And the Megillah is guaranteeing every single one of us. If we aspire to a life of Mordechai and Esther, if we aspire to a life of Yiddishkeit, don't worry, you will be met with tremendous success and happiness in the end. Wishing every one of my listeners a Freilich and Purim.